Hey, Blastroid here. I have finally finished Blastroids House. We are on the final version. If you look in the description, you'll actually see a download link so you can actually experience it yourself. If you're a streamer, if you want to play this on your stream, go for it. I'm not going to do any copyrights or anything stupid like that. We can all share this video game. That's kind of what the Blastroids House is all about. It's kind of giving inspiration to this game. You're not going to see a lot of factories here. You're going to see a lot of mini games and a lot of artwork and things like that, kind of showing you a different way to play Satisfatory. So let's just go ahead and jump right into it. This is going to be kind of a lengthy video, so I'm going to go through things in a lot of details. You'll see some index timestamps if you want to jump around, or if you just want to go and look at the description, get the download, and try it yourself, that's fine. You can see right off the bat here, we actually decorated the matrix style theme for the hub here. Go ahead and jump in the tube. And I start you off with a nice little swirly to get going. You also might see some jump cuts in this video because I don't want to show you the entire navigation to getting from point A to point B. That's kind of boring, so I'll be doing that. Also, we enter the Hall of Butts, as I call it here, where we enter the map. And then I throw you into a nice steaming, oh no, was a nice hot tub. Alright, my buddy Raz, he drinks a lot of coffee, does not know how to read signs in English apparently, and he's at it again, so we do have a little cleanup to do on the hot tub, but it is what it is. It's still there, the bubbles are still working, at least it didn't get clogged up too bad. You also see a lot of maps around here. This is showing you everything you can do in this entire map. That's what the video is going to do for you. When you get a little upward, you're going to see some tinier signs that lead you through to the places you want to go. Right near the hub, you have actually, I think, 3 or 4 different mini games. So we have semi-hard jump puzzle. And so you're basically going to jump until you reach that island way over there and you get a nice little surprise. Here, let me demonstrate it. There's a jump, there's a jump, there's the jump. Okay, that's enough. I don't want to show you the end on this video, but it gets really fun there. Here's the instructions. Grab some Blade Runners, jump, die, and then repeat. And there's your entire collection of Blade Runners. Hopefully you don't need all those boxes. But it's a single player game, but you can have multiple people jumping at once if your server can handle it. Alright, let's go ahead and hop out of the semi-hard jump puzzle. On the other side of the hub is a multiplayer game called Have a Blast. And this is actually created by Daddy Cron, and I kind of put my own spin on it. It's kind of a Russian roulette game. There's instructions on the wall, but let me go ahead and see if I can butcher those instructions. So every player picks a slot, and they're going to decorate it with Novelist. 50 Novelists if they want. 2 Novelists, I don't care. Just a lot of Novelists enough to kill somebody. Alright, that's not their slot. They're just going to randomize and decorate that. Then they're going to take a cart, and you're going to put the cart down, and you're going to put that detonator into the cart, and you're going to program the cart on a certain path I have already set. Alright, now once all the carts are gone, you're then going to pick the slot you want to live in. You probably will not pick the same slot you decorated, but you can. It doesn't actually matter because there's going to be some randomness. So let's say I pick number 5. Then you go down the line and dismantle the carts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So as soon as you dismantle a cart, you get the detonator. Now, because the carts all look the same or are going on the exact same path, you can't tell which cart has which detonator. So you're going to explode your detonator, and it's going to blow up one of these slots. If you only have 4 players, you're only going to do slots 1 through 4, of course. And you're trying to be the last player by luck. It's not a game of, skill here, but it's just kind of a fun thing to do multiplayer to see who gets blown up last. You might blow yourself up, you might blow your friend up. Which number comes last? That is Have a Blast, and hopefully you will have a blast playing it. Alright, the other mini puzzle, or not mini puzzle, but mini game is called the Ironman Marathon. This is actually played by Snut and Jace the other day on their stream, but I'll go ahead and play it again. If you want to fast forward this, you've already seen it, that's fine. You start with a bunch of things like health and parachutes, Blade Runners, zip lines, and of course the important coffee cup. You're going to grab a Explorer. This is not just an Explorer race, it's a kind of a marathon with a lot of things, up to 8 players. We actually did have 8 players play this the other day, and it work product. We actually did a photo finish almost. I can't believe with this long of a race that you can get a photo finish out of it, almost. But I designed the exit door, which we'll see here at the end, to only allow one player to fit through, so it's impossible to get a photo finish, but we came really, really close to it. Alright, I might make this look a little easier because, of course, I am the pro gamer here. No, I just played this 1,000 million times, so I just know where to go. And, of course, I say that and I get stuck on that pipe. Alright, a little slalom action here. Here we get a better view. Get rid of that gooey. As long as you keep your speed, you should be fine. And as long as you don't hit walls and do the whole 30-point turns for every time you want to make a turn, you should win the game. Whee! I am filming this close to Ficmas holiday here, so you might see some Santa hats. So if you are watching this in May and you're like, what the hell is Santa hats all about? That's what's going on. Check the date of the video. You'll see. December. Get some air. And of course, now I broke it. Alright, let me hop out and fix that. Whee! You know, anytime I'm not recording, I do this perfectly, I promise. Alright, we reached the end of the Explorer, so you basically hop out and go through the tube. And try not to run yourself over, that will delay your game. Alright, this is, I call, the hardest part of the entire race. You have to climb a radio tower, and I know some of y'all are scared to do that because the ladders on radio towers are horrible, but I protect it with glass, so I made this a lot easier than normal. Alright, almost to the top. Alright, we dive down for the swimming part. Few little obstacles to go over, nothing tricky. But you notice some obstacles like this one here says, okay, it looks like it requires blade runners in order to jump over this wall. So it makes you switch and do different things. This one requires a zip line, which I forgot mine. So I'm just going to grab one here. I went ahead and prepared for those forgetful people. And if you do this properly, you should be able to go from line to line to line, just like that, without ever hitting the ground. A little bit of running action here. And then we go into the parachutes. I'll go ahead and grab some of those real quick. Now if you're watching my video, I will give you all the secrets. I would deploy your parachute as soon as possible, or not. There's two strategies. One is to hit the ground as fast as you can in thinking that you're going to run faster, and with the Blade Runners that might be true. The other one is to try to go through all of that obstacles while you're in the air and not have to climb any of the ladders. I haven't really tested the timing to see which one is faster, but you go ahead and strategize and figure out what you want to do. So here we are right at the end. Next part of the race is kind of a maze, and I set it up in a way where you're going to hit your nose on the glass quite a few times. For example, right there. So kind of comical because they added the sound effect when you hit your nose to the glass. Love it. Oh. Alright, down the exit. Some people do get lost in that maze. Alright, climb the ladders to the top. Use your inner monkey and jump from ladder to ladder to ladder. Alright. Sounds fairly simple. And I understand on multiplayer... Oh, I already failed. Look at me. On multiplayer, this might be a little bit more difficult, especially if you're not the host. Oh my goodness. I'm going to go ahead and just switch over to my jetpack, which is cheating, by the way. But for this video, I don't want to spend 2 hours on the ladders. demonstrating how to fail. You already know that I'm good at that part. But it is doable. Just needs to be wide awake to concentrate just a little bit. Alright, reached the top of the ladders without any problems. Very first try. Look at me go. Alright, next part we have a kart race here. And of course you should always choose the gold one if you're the first one here, but we have all different colors for you. Always put your siren up too. Oh crap. Whee! Alright, try to get through the little thing here. Oh, first try. Alright, we're done with the kart race. We'll go ahead and get out of that. And next part is a slide. And if you've seen some of my previous maps, I've done slide challenges before, so I threw a little tiny segment in here. It's not as long as the other ones, but basically you just slide down and try to slide the whole time. Of course, I got my big zip line thing in the way. Whoa, that's one big sign. Alright, moving on, we have a little jump pads, and they actually, for Ficmas, you'll hear kind of a song come out of them. Alright, try to do this the first try. No, oh, I cheated with my jetpack again, but a little hole right there you're supposed to fit through. And now we're on the finish line of the slalom. First time I actually had just one rail tall and they were just jumping over them, so I kind of made them a little taller so they're annoying as heck. And this is what I was talking about, where only one person can fit through the finish line at once. And we have finished the Ironman Marathon. Take our place on the podium. Yay, we did it! Alright, near the hot tub you're also going to find this kind of mystery room. On this video I'm not going to go through everything, especially a door that says do not unlock and off limits, do not enter. Just don't go in there. If you do download this map, just leave that alone. There's no reason to do that. We do have Micro World right here by the hot tub also. This is a result of some kind of experiment. Looks like a particle accelerator. And unfortunately all the animals got shrunk here. So, alright, little spider. You don't look so dangerous now. I can finally step on them. Also right near the Micro World we have the best factory ever. Let me get rid of that zip line, it's in my way. The best factory ever. Let's see what some of these signs say. Random guy. I cried after seeing this. The 0th wondereth of the world. Some guy on Reddit gave it 4 out of 5 farts. Alright. Let's go ahead and see what the best factory ever has to offer. There we go. 69 parts per minute of iron ingot. Best ratio you can achieve in the game here. My new personal best. In case you're trying to copy this, I did trademark, register, and copyright this recipe, so please do not use or my lawyers will get a hold of you. But there's no reason to make any other factories, and this is the reason you only see this factory on this entire build here, because once you build the best factory in the world, there's no reason to build any other factory. I do apologize if any of y'all quit playing Satisfatory after seeing that, but it is what it is. Alright, looks like we have the Holodeck up here, so let's go ahead and check that out. It's not all mini games, some of it's nice artwork. Holodeck entrance. Ooh, fancy smancy. So of course, if you are a Star Trek fan, you're going to recognize the holodeck. It even has nuts on the wall. Well, holodeck is complete without nuts on the wall. So we even able to make the carts kind of little holograms here. There's a way to trick the pathing sequence so they reset and they stay stuck in this pattern. So we pulled that little trick off to give it that nice little holodeck effect. All right, let's go ahead and move on here. Go ahead and jump over and showing the Museum of Cool Things. Ooh, and then we'll definitely go to board games next here. Museum of Cool Things. A lot of bright ideas here. It's the name of the place. It's not cool, but the things inside are. All right. So we have a nice little diorama for Mario Brothers. And I'm old enough to own the first generation Nintendo and play this. And I actually was able to beat it one time without dying once. That was my accomplishment. So I even put a little trophy guy here playing the game. Bloop, 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 bloop. Signs have to be one of my favorite things they've added to patch 5 here, as you can tell. I probably have thousands upon thousands of signs on this level. I even have a little diorama for Doggo versus Fluffy Tail Hog and kind of a Street Fighter look and feel. Still under construction. This is probably one of my favorite areas. It's actually the last area I've created for mini games. But I see a lot of people hanging out in here if we do multiplayer. Here's the map of it. We got so many games, but I'm going to show you each one. We have Tic Tac Toe. So you basically copy one of these signs if you want to be O or X, and then you paste them. And here's the instructions. Copy a sign and then tie 100 times. Because if you don't tie in Tic Tac Toe, then that just means you weren't paying attention whatsoever. So I do have 2 boards set up, and I have 2 boards set up on a lot of things. For example, these 2 things on the right side are Battleship A, and these are Battleship B. So you can have 4 people playing Battleship at the same time. Let's go ahead and jump into A player 1 here. And this is your Battleship board. So you're going to place your ships down there, and you're going to mark your hits and misses up there. But to do this, you can hotbar the colors now. So you can put red, white, blue, and black on your hotbar, and that way they're easy to select, and you just paint these pegs. For example, your Battleship will be 5 of those pegs. I don't think, is diagonal allowed? I have to look up the rules again, but play however you want to play. If you want to bend the rules, you can. But we went ahead and added some mechanics to this. You'll see a row of red lights here and kind of a winner circle. So anytime anybody sinks one of your ships, you're supposed to pull one of these levers back here, and it's going to light up one of these things red in the other player's arena, and that way they know they sunk that ship. And when all 5 of these are sunk, it's gonna light up this thing in green. We actually created a 5 AND switch or AND gate in the game using truck stations to power on that light. So a little bit of logic in the game that usually doesn't exist. If you ever played Minecraft and it had redstone, kind of similar to that, we try to create some of those logics in the game itself, even though Satisfatory is not very helpful in giving logic. But that's not what the game's really about. We're turning on its head here and creating some fun things that the developers probably never thought we would attempt to do. So that is Battleship. While we're here, take a look at the Rubiks Cube. All nice and pretty, a little mobile for decorating our game room. First time I showed Don't Poke Josh this, he's like, nope, illegal cube. So I made him come in, fly in, and fix all my colors for me. So Don't Poke Josh did touch the cube a little bit, and he peeled off all the stickers and then reset them to a proper style. I think resetting stickers is the only way to beat a Rubik's Cube, in my opinion, so I think he did it properly. All right, we do have checkers here. Good old classic checkers. And this one's a very simple paint game. You're just going to paint the pip white where it used to be and paint it red or black, depending on which person you are, and you're just going to play checkers that way. Very low-tech game on that one. Across the hall, though, is another one. I've never created this one in Satisfatory yet. I call it Trouble here in the United States, but other countries, they seem to call it Ludo, and it may have a couple more games. It's a Parcheesi type game, but the boards I remember playing always had a bubble in the center. You press the bubble down, and it pops up, and the dice tells you where to go. So you're going to basically have 4 pips here, and you have to roll a 6 in order to get your first pip out. And then you're going to go clockwise, and then you have to get on these 4 pillars. If one is already on this pillar and you roll the same dice, you can't go anywhere. You have to get exact rolls to get on these pillars, and the first one to have all 4 of their pips on the platform wins the game. But how do we do the dice? That's kind of an interesting one. You'll see 6 different carts, mini carts in here. And what's going to happen is one of the players that's not turned is going to come down here and put a ton of Noblists down here. Let me go see if I have any Noblists to demonstrate. No, I don't. Let me go grab some. All right, and I suggest at least about 6. Now, if you have 4 people playing this, then 3 of these can be down here throwing Noblists, so it won't take any time to load up. I'm not going to do 6. I'm just going to do 4 right now for speed time. And then you go up the top, and you're going to blast. And you're going to see the carts fly around. With 6, they fly around a lot better than that. Now, the person whose turn it is, they bring out their deselect tool. They do not deselect a cart. All they do is they go, I want this cart right here on the edge. And they'll point their deselect at it. And you can see I just rolled the worst roll possible, a 1, because I only have a 1 summer sloop. But if I look at the other card over here, it's a 5. It has 5 power shards. So whatever number of objects it has in its trunk is what you've rolled. So that's kind of how we treated the randomness here. Here again, we don't have the redstone in this game, so we got to be creative on how we do randomness. So you'll see quite a few examples of that throughout this game. But that is Ludo, or aka Trouble. And like all games, they'll have instructions somewhere in the game itself, so if you've never played it before, you can see those instructions. Alright, moving on. We have probably my favorite board game of all time. So it's a 2-player game called Mastermind. You have a code breaker and a code master. So you're basically going to play with 6 colors. You're going to set these signs. The code master is going to set these signs to 4 of those colors. I think you could repeat colors. Like I can put them all yellow if I wanted to. And then the code breaker is going to try to get up to 10 guesses and figure out what the code is. Now, every time you guess, the code master needs to tell them, okay, you have 2 numbers or 2 colors correct and 1 color that's correct in the right spot. So anytime you have a color correct, it's going to be a white number. And anytime you have a color correct and in the correct spot, it's going to be a red number. So in that situation, it would be 2 white, 1 red. Since it had 3 colors correct, but only 1 in the proper position. And so you're basically building a thing of logic that helps you decide, okay, well, I only got that 1 red. What if I move this one over? And all of a sudden I got no red. I now know that last step, that one I moved out of the sequence was the correct answer. But you only have 10 guesses. You kind of have to be really strategic in how you plan your guesses. Get rid of that there. So that is Mastermind. Instructions on the board there. Across the hall from that is a new game called Paint Wars. And I actually have not seen this played just yet, but the concept is very sound and it's pretty easy to go. So first thing you're going to do is everybody's going to pick a different color they're going to paint with. Red, blue, green, whatever you want to do. As long as it's not the same color and you can easily tell the difference between the colors if you're going to paint these pips over here. So we're going to pull this lever for about 3 seconds. 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000. All right, and everybody get ready. In about 15 seconds, these lights are going to turn green. I'm going to go ahead and choose pink here. Yeah, not the brightest color, but all right, the lights just turned green, and I'm going to sit there and just paint. Now, everybody else is painting too, right? Yeah, I picked probably the worst color for contrast, but so everybody else is painting along with you, and you have about 60 seconds of painting. Now the light hasn't turned red, the green light just went off, so we still got to wait till the red light. And after 60 seconds, you stop painting, and whoever has the most painted pips wins. Very simple concept. And then you can paint the wall white again. You can come back over here and reset this for 3 seconds and play again. And that's pretty much Paint Wars. The red light should appear just a second. Yeah, I picked the worst contrast. Light pink and white pips. I can't tell which one's painted and which one's not. And you can play this game as many times as you want. This is one that I have a complete reset system on, so there's no way to run out of materials for that one. Battleship, oh, there's the red lights. Battleship, you can reset a few times. Another game you can keep resetting is our Connect 4 over here. Connect 4 is a conveyor belt Connect 4. So the premise is you're going to grab your pips. Let's say I'm going to be wire. The other player over there is quick wire. And you're going to divide out that wire into onesies. And so let's say I wanted to go number 4. I'd poke up here on this canister and drop in 1 pip. And all of a sudden I have that pip in 4. And then you're just going to play your normal game of Connect 4. You remember you can go diagonal. Now when you're ready to reset it, you basically turn this on for about 15-20 seconds. And 133 rotors are going to appear into this canister. The rotors are kind of what we use to prime all our belts and making sure all this is exactly in the situation ready to play the game. So once we have 133 rotors, we can go ahead and turn that switch off. And then we'll go back here behind the scenes and we'll insert those rotors. Not very difficult to reset, but there is a little bit of legwork. And you'll see in here my my 1 pip is also returned to me too. And there's our rotors resetting our game. I put a 7-to-1 split system in there so they're all evenly divided up. And we should be good to go. All right. And then you just drop your next play in and you're ready to go again. Alright, so that is board games. Quite a few things to do in here. Hope you have fun in that area. Let me know which one your favorite game is. I want to see somebody play Mastermind. I'm probably going to jump into a stream one day and just have Mastermind all day. Everybody can do it. Let's see what some other games that we have in here. Fly over here to the top. So I created my first co-op game. And this is a 2-player game that you need to work together to solve some puzzles. And what you're doing, what you're going to be after is, at the end, you have a cup you're trying to win. So we first call it 2 Pioneers and 1 Cup. I mean, the name makes so much sense, and nothing else going on with that name whatsoever. 2 Pioneers and 1 Cup. So let me just demonstrate the very first room. Very first room, I'm in here and the other player is over here in this room. And they might see a sign lit up like, oh, that one's number 5. So they're going to come over here and like, okay, let me go to number this 5 and try to open it. And you open it and nothing happens because you're trying to work together to solve the puzzle. So this guy is going to say, hey, try your number 5. And so if I was in this room, I would go to my number 5, which is right here, and try to unlock it. And sure enough, that's the exit. Not very hard to guess all 5 rooms or 6 rooms, but it teaches you that, okay, some communication is needed because it's going to get a lot harder than this going through. For example, this room has a math equation, a whole grid of things where you're supposed to plug in certain things to make a certain item. That item is needed for the next room. And the next room has its own quirks and things. And you kind of look around the room for different clues and stuff. But hopefully everybody enjoys it because it's my first attempt at this type of co-op design. But that is 2 Pioneers and 1 Cup. Most innocent name I could think of. Alright, moving up to the actual house here. In the house is a portal room. I would urge you to watch out in multiplayer because sometimes these portals do not work good in multiplayer depending on your internet connection, but single player they work really, really good. Heading down to the fountain room, there's a map for the portal. For example, we have a power plant, zoo, Slug Habbitat, Zoop Kong, Ficmas Tree, and helpful hints. Let's go check out the Slug Habbitat first. Let's go southwest here. And I said it's not all about mini games. Sometimes we have a nice retreat that we've created for our slug friends. And so this is the Slug Habbitat. Ooh, they're making more slugs for me. Awesome. So we might come back in here and find another few slugs. A very zen place. Even has a beautiful view. But that is the Slug Habitat. If we go to, what's another place here? Zoop Kong. Let's go to the very north side. This one is a mini game, and it's actually the only mini game I think I have accessible via the portals. So most of them have a tube that you just go through. So even in multiplayer you can get to it. But this is kind of our Zoop Kong game. It's a play off the classic Donkey Kong. The belts are barely sticking out the wall there, and you climb the ladder, so it's pretty tricky. You have to climb the edge of the belts to get at the top. If you don't, you're going to be flung back to the side. But I love classic video games, so I went ahead and gave my tribute to Donkey Kong there. Up to the northwest, and if you're asking about these teleporters, they are vanilla still. They are two tube entrances together, and I saved edit one to the other side. You don't need to download anything for this download to work. Even the portal should work without mods. But this is my 150 wall tall made of beam Christmas tree for the Ficmas event, and that's where I'm holding my factory. I kind of got it out of the way here because we don't celebrate that but once a month. Something new I've just created is a helpful hint. If we go to the desert, which is the northeast side, you'll see my helpful hint room. And so if you're interested in how to use different building techniques, there's a lot of videos out there on the internet. A lot of players have created some great concepts. And I've also put some of those here in my own kind of museum of building techniques. So hopefully you can learn a couple. You may already know all of these. For example, some signs you can merge into other signs. Other signs don't work that well. Backgrounds are nice and flush. Let's go ahead and look over here. You can put the pillars onto beams at different angles. You could use the road barriers to help angle your walls or different items. Very simplistic stuff, but it may not be obvious, or you're looking for more kind of vertical control or horizontal control of where you place your walls. Well, you can place them really close to each other when you put them on a beam, for example. Or my favorite, working with signs. The direction of the beam indicates which direction the sign's going to be. You can also put signs at angles. You could delete that beam after you put the sign. Now you have a nice angled sign. So it kind of demonstrates those things. And there's instructions on the wall kind of explaining what you're looking at. But I wanted to kind of do this concept here of, well, instead of creating a video, how about we actually create a interactive place in the save where you can kind of come and learn some new building techniques. So that's what this room's all about. And anything else on the portal I want to show you? Get the Ficmas Tree? Nah, everything else is kind of boring there, but you can check them out yourself. Also here in the portal room is a link to the master bedroom stairs. And this is where I hang out and do all my sleeping. Oh, we got a slug friend already in bed waiting for me. Hi buddy, what you watching? Okay, yeah, we're not meant to see that TV station, but okay, you be you, I guess. But nice little master bedroom with a her and his closet, a big screen TV, California king bed. We even got little parachute pillows, nice and comfy, but fairly well decorated. Let's hop out of the master bedroom and we'll go down to the fountain room. This is the very first room I built because I wanted to build near this little lake that had the water right here and build my fountain. So the entire Blastroids world was built around this fountain room here. But nice and pretty there. Let's go to the top. And we'll go check out the drone room first. Which this is room here to the left. The only thing to show off in the drone room is probably the moon roof. But there are some more details inside of it. One cool thing with Ficmas this year, they allowed us to paint different vehicles. For example, this is what the drone looked like painted with a Ficmas tool. Really cool. That gold looks amazing. I want to paint the whole thing gold like that, please. I'm pretty sure they're going to allow us to do cool things with that paint tool later on. And on the opposite side of the portal room is another garage, and this one's just more of a vehicle garage. And it's even more detailed than the drone garage, though. I spent a lot of time in here trying to get little nooks and crannies and pieces where it felt lived in, you know. That's what I was going for. We even have little carts out here. Out here you might see some of our first pixel art. We have Link from Zelda right here. We have an airport. So this one is for the Manta. This is our Manta Airport. Let's go up top and look at that. So the premise here is you stand on this green thing, and every 5 minutes the Manta comes through and will sweep you up and take you for a ride around the park. Let's see where that Manta is. I don't think he's anywhere close to me to show you the ride. Oh yeah, he's way over there. He's a couple minutes out right now, maybe 3 minutes out, so I'm not going to sit there and wait, but that's the kind of the premise of it. So it kind of created a safe spot for you to stand. Every once in a while you might need to jump, but most times that will scoop you up right there. Looks like we've discovered the secret elevator entrance, super secret elevator entrance. We're going to take that here in just a second, because what's at the very top here of our space elevator is a cafeteria. Actually 8 different cafeterias. Now you could take the stairs if you wanted. Let's go and walk over there and look at what that looks like. So you can take the stairs all the way up, but this video is already long enough. We're not going to do that. We could try to take the elevator, but it looks like that's out of order, so that's not going to happen. So we're going to take that super secret entrance that we saw over there. We do have some nice artwork here. This one dedicated to Raz because he wanted me to try to mimic a picture he saw, so we did that there. Alright, here we go. Now this has a seizure warning for a reason. Going up is not that bad, but going down, if you are prone to seizures, it can be a little scary there, but let's go ahead and take a look at it. I have had seizures in the past, so I have not ever experienced looking down yet. I've always had people in Discord look at it for me, and they say it looks amazing. So I'm a little bit jealous, but I haven't had any headaches or anything going up on this thing. It's when you go down, it goes so fast, the colors just start blinking and blur together, and it is not safe if you are epileptic. Yeah, a lot of signs to make this happen, but it was so worth it. The first time I rode this thing, I'm like, oh my goodness. People are going to say Blastroid has no life, and they would be correct. Alright, so we made it to the top here. Here's our elevator that doesn't work anymore. I can press the buttons all day long, nothing's going to happen. But let's go to the very top and see what a cafeteria looks like. Hopefully they have something special today because I am hungry. Alright, the name of the cafeteria is called Shenanigans. What the most fitting name for any restaurant, Shenanigans. It looks like this cafeteria is closed due to doggo meat shortage though. Bummer. But you can see it, this one's still spitting out stuff. I don't know why it's closed. We still have mycelia to eat. Not your cilia, mycelia. And then we can even see a nice little cafeteria here where people go and eat. Oh, they got restrooms? My hub restroom's broken. I gotta get in there somehow. Look out, auto trash cart on duty. Okay, speaking of auto trash cart, there he is. Alright, let's go ahead, and I'll go ahead and take the exit down. That does have a seizure warning on it, and like I said, I'll holler it out when we're out of it because I can hear by the tube exit, but if you do have epilepsy, please look away now. heard the exit sound. It should be safe to look again, and hopefully everybody else that witnessed that. Hope it's amazing. I wish I could see it one day. Also over here are a few secret entrances. Let me show you the sign in case you need to look for this. If you see this sign right here, it says secret rooms. Shh. You have found my secret rooms. Since it is December right now, we went ahead and made a Ficmas room. Oh, pretty gaudy colors. Yeah, I threw up a couple times in this room, so do watch your step. But it is our gaudy Christmas room. If that's not your style, we do have a party room also. The party room, we do have a slug offering you some mushrooms. We got a little bit of some weed over there, some nitrogen gas, and we have the cart where you can turn the music on, disco lights if you want. So that is the party room. My favorite room is the space room, and this is where I come to kind of zen out. If I'm ever near it on a Twitch stream and have to go to the restroom, I'm like, I'm just going to park you right here for a few minutes and enjoy the Starfield simulator. If you remember that old Windows screensaver? Yep, there it is. And then somebody the other day asked me where I get all these ideas from. And I said, well, I get them from my Bright Ideas room. If you hang out there long enough, you're going to go crazy enough to start building some of this stuff. So this is where I keep all my bright ideas. So let's go ahead and see if we can get there. Oh, a little too bright. You get a sunburn really quick, though. Oh, okay, I'm just going to run for it. And, all right, we're in the Bright Ideas room. Here we are. Slug in here trying to think of some things, apparently. He's plotting how to kill doggos. Alright, so that is our secret area. See, is there anything else on this side to show? I don't think so. There are a little bit of hidden areas on this map. I'm not going to show them. There's a little bit of discovery to be made. So I do have a hot air balloon, and this guy hangs out here near the hot air balloon all day long. But nice little wall work there, colorful. Some more pixel art, nice slug, and of course a goat at the top of the hill there. Let's take a look at these other three mini games. We have Death Slide and Run. Alright, Death Slide and Run, you first thing to do is grab some health because this is a little bit bouncy, and if you don't stay healthy, you're gonna die. It's a death slide, you're gonna die. I want you to die. Now I've kind of perfected this a little bit, so I'm gonna hold down Control and forward here, and once you're sliding, you can just hold down, not Control, C I meant. You can just hold down C, well, never mind, C and forward. Keep holding that down, and you should just keep sliding the whole way. And you see I'm already taking a little bit of injury, but there's a lot of holes here, like right here. Jump over it. Oh, almost dead. Those pipes will take you down to death also. Let's see if I can get to the end without dying here. Once you learn the course, it's fairly simple, but it may take a few tries to do this. Alright, we're end of the death part, but this is a death slide and run. So I've got, I wouldn't say it's an obstacle course, it's more of a balance course or a vertigo challenge course, but not too difficult. And like I said, I'm still running my jetpack, which is cheating, but for this video, I really don't want to die and have to edit the video, so we're just gonna do it this way. Get to the top here. But good luck without the jetpack, because there's a couple parts that can trip you up, and you gotta start all the way over, and hopefully you master it one day. Or give up on it and just write mean comments in the comment section. You can do that too. For example, look what you get to do. You get to go through all that, but not me. I got a jetpack. And as you can tell, we're actually under the game world right now. So we're getting back to the top here. So I love building factories in Satisfatory, don't get me wrong. You see me create mini games all the time, but I've built so many factories. I'm just waiting for 1.0 to come out to really get back into the game itself. But after you've beaten the game, what's going to bring you back? And I think the creative part of this game is what's going to bring you back time and time again. How can you build the factories different? Or you might venture out like me and just try to be creative and inspire others to creative. Maybe some of these building techniques you can use on your factories and stuff. This is chutes and ladders. I'm sorry, chutes and chutes. No ladders involved in this whatsoever. It's your old classic game of 100 different spots, and you're trying to reach spot number 100. But if you roll a spot that says jump on it, you have to jump. And that's either going to take you forward in the game or it's going to take you backwards. So you can see all the red and the green. One's going to take you forward, one's going to take you backwards. Now we need a pair of dice in here though in order to do this. So what you're supposed to do is stand over here and wait for this door to open. And the first number you see, which I just saw number 6, that is my roll. So we've already seen some examples of randomness in this game, and this is another example of randomness. So there's actually 3 parts to help create randomness here. One, I have a cycling set of coal generators that go from a certain series. Now those aren't actually random. If you look at these numbers, they appear the same numbers over and over and over again. But I also have a train going back every 15 seconds and opening and closing these doors. So there again, you saw the train just open that door. So that creates a little bit of randomness. But the best part to create randomness is the player himself. If he's taking his time to jump over here and then jump and talk to the other players, he may be going in 3 seconds, he may be going in 2 minutes. It all depends on all the actions people are taking. If you combine all 3 of those together, I believe you have a random enough system that you should not be able to cheat or have the exact same rolls happen over and over next to each other. So that's kind of a premise on another way of doing a random sequence here in this game. But Chutes and Chutes, another fun game here. Alright, the last mini game to show off here is also one of my favorites. It's called the Pro Power Path mini game. Let's go ahead and go in here and see what it's all about. Alright, this is a hover pack maze. Go ahead and grab a hover pack from here, put it on. Now this is a maze without any walls at all, and you can see the exit right from the get-go. But it actually is one of the most difficult mazes I've ever created. I'll explain what's going on here. So this is the wall, the no wall maze. You can see we're trying to get way over there to the exit, and every 15 seconds this pole is going to get power for about 3 seconds. And then once it gets power, you got to boogie in and try to get to the right path of power. So right now I got power, so I'm moving on, and it looks like power just got transferred to that pole and to that pole. Looks like I'm on the right path so far. Alright, we're good. Let me take a right over here. But then if you go to the wrong path, you can see that never got any power because that's the wrong path. But everyone has a different sign on it to help you kind of navigate. So you kind of memorize, oh, I've already gone to the iron ore, or I haven't been over to the iron ingot yet. And you can write down that series, and eventually you'll learn the path to actually beat this maze. But it's kind of a cycling power path that you've got to figure out how to fly through. So pretty cool. But that's pretty much Blastroids world. Still more to discover. If you want to download it and go through it, look in the video description for the download links. If you have any bright ideas from this level, feel free to use it. I don't mind you copying ideas. We're all here to kind of inspire each other to be creative in this game. There's no right and wrong way to play this game. Well, maybe there's some on my list. But it's a great community, and we all kind of share here, and hopefully you can be inspired by this level a little bit. and I'm on to the next project fairly soon. I have no clue what it's going to be, but I may not go as grand as what this level turned out to be. 16 plus mini games in one level is the most I've actually done, so I might tame it down for the next one, but we'll see. But in the comments, let me know what your favorite part of this is, and I hope you really have a fun time playing it. I had a fun time creating it and playing with my buddies. Until the next video, y'all have a great one.